So the first thing I'm going to do is actually take a few more of my seedlings and things that are running out of room over in my starters that need to be transplanted. I'm going to move them into a few pots. Here's the sleepy boy. I should just start calling this the condo because there's Jello in his favorite bed. And there's Helix on his favorite bed, which happens to be one of these giant dog beds, but since he claimed it, I went ahead and put it up here because he likes to be up high. So to do this, what I'm going to do is mix some vermiculite with some of my leaf compost from outside that I picked up the other day, and we're just going to mix it in this bin here and use that as the potting soil. Now I need the vermiculite or something to help aerate the soil because we're not in the natural environment. So that's my choice. It doesn't have anything else added to it, so that's what I'm going to go with. Don't have a huge amount of it, so I am probably going to use less than normal, but that's all right. The idea is we'll get some of these greens, they're pretty hardy, put them in a pot. That way I can use some of these trays to start some tomato and pepper plants. Now, those plants that I tried starting before did not actually do very well because I just think it's too cold in my basement. I have them on timed lighting, so they're not getting too much lighting, it's going on and off as needed. But my regular pepper plant wasn't doing well in here either. I did transfer that just today to a grow tent with a grow light in it, again on a timer. I'm hoping that that tent will just keep it a little bit warmer in there so it can start taking off. That pepper plant is a plant that's native to Trinidad, so it's kind of hard to get a hold of that type of pepper. We love it. We do have some more dried peppers from the plant from last season, so I'm going to try to start some more seeds. That particular pepper plant that I have here, we've kept going for probably 9 years, but we didn't have good luck getting plants started the first year because we had aphid issues. The second year we got this plant started, so I believe it's 9 years old, and it moved from an apartment to our old house to this house. Every winter we put it inside in a pot. It doesn't do well in a pot inside ever. It's always kind of hung in there. And then every summer, once we get out of frost, once we're really into the 50s, 60s, really 50s at least night, we go and put it outside into the garden, and then by about October it starts giving us peppers. So it is a tropical plant, so we're not in a very tropical environment in Michigan, but we have had some luck with that pepper plant. So I'm going to see if I could get some more of those started, which would be nice. So what I'm going to do first is take some of this vermiculite, and we'll take some of my soil from outside. I always keep a bucket around here that has trimmings and things like that. I did add some soil to it, so if it wants to start decomposing, that's great. It's not big enough to really be a good compost, but it should get things started. Eventually, I love a vermicompost system down here. Okay, so what I did, I basically did 2-to-1 potting soil to vermiculite. You can do 1-to-1. I might have to make a little bit more, but this will be good to start. Just mix it all together. I'm going to take one of my pots. Now, ideally you want a pot that has some holes in the bottom for it to drain, but I do have a few of those around, but I'm going to use these as well, just to use what I have on hand. So I'll take soil, mixed up, and put it in here. So I'm going to keep it down about an inch from the top here. Yeah, I think what I'll do is I'll pull some kale. Now, I'm going to show you a boo-boo I made. Okay, so I did make a mistake this week. I've been so distracted. Usually on Wednesdays I come down here and water these, and then again on the weekends. And this container's not, it doesn't hold a lot of water for this many plants. So obviously my chard is done. My kale is actually doing all right. It was definitely very wilty, so it does need to be transplanted too. So it's really unlimited room. You could use all these for baby kale too. Baby kale salad, nice and tender leaves. So, but I'm gonna take a few of them and put them in this pot. I'm just gonna try to work around the roots a little bit of each plant to pull it out. Try not to disturb the roots too much. So we're going to pull each one out and dig down into this pot. Now ideally you want to go down far enough so that you have the soil come up to where the first leaves start, where they break away. So I'm not always very good about making sure I go down deep enough. If you don't do that, they will do okay, but some of the plants will start flopping over because they're not strong enough in that area. So I'll do that. And if you think about it, in nature, it's constantly building on top of it. And I don't have any compost on top of here. I could take some leaves from outside and put basically a mulch layer on top of this, even in the plant. It would help it hold the water in. Okay, so these plants do need to go a little bit higher with the soil to just give them some support. Okay, so these greens in these pots are doing great. I've been watering these on the weekends. I've been watering the other side on Wednesdays and sometimes on the weekends if they look dried, because the smaller pots, we need more water in them. They evaporate faster. Plus, these are so overplanted that it actually helps keep the soil pretty moist. So I don't have to water these as often. Bigger pots help. I could cut some more greens down, but I think we'll save that for salad later in the week. Maybe I'll bring some for lunch. We do have watercress in this one. That seems to be hanging in there, doing pretty well, and over here. We do have our winter greens, our kale, our arugula, some greens. I'm actually not 100% sure what type of greens they are, but just the whole mix, and it does pretty well. And this one we have some dill in here too. Not sure if we have other herbs. I don't remember if we have other herbs. It may have been overgrown. This one we definitely do. We have some dill. That's actually vit down there. Sage, oregano over here, some cilantro in the back. So we have a variety of greens and herbs in that one. So they're doing pretty darn well in these pots under the timed light, and provides me with some salads in the winter that are straight from home. So over here we have some peppers, dried peppers, even some black cherry tomatoes. These are one of my favorite tomatoes. They are very sweet tomatoes. They grow really easily. In fact, they'll reseed themselves outside. So you usually, of course you don't know which type they are until they start producing fruit. We have this. I think I'm just going to put the rest of my vermiculite in here. Looks good. And mix that up again. Now this is going to be my seed starting mix. You can do up to about 1-to-1 vermiculite to compost to help keep that soil, light and aerated. I'm not to that proportion, mainly because I'm running out of vermiculite, so I do need to get myself some more. The other thing I like to use are, I recycle these. This is packing material that something came in, compostable packing material. So I'm just going to use it for some of my starts. It'll probably hold about 5 plants in there. So we'll do that. And then we'll take some of my egg cartons. So this is another Trinidad pepper, and it looks like it dried out a little bit better. Okay, so that tray is all set to go. So what we'll do is take the heat pads and set them up upstairs by the front window, which faces south, and we'll see what we could do and see if anything starts from those. So I do have my pepper plant in here. We'll see if it can come back. Right now it's only 60 degrees in here, but I'm going to close this thing up and see if it warms up. That is my that is my pepper plant, my Trinidad pepper plant. Over here is my broadleaf thyme plant, the one sticking out to the side. So again, a tropical plant, so we're going to see if it does a little bit better in this tent with all the reflective walls. And I'm going to leave the thermometer in there just to see, what temperature we could get up to. So I've moved those seeds and the warmer pads up into my front window here. Well, the two issues, I have trees out front, but there's no leaves yet, so I think we're okay. The other issues, there is a porch out front, and that limits some of the light that can come in here. But we do get a decent amount of light in here. Now it's getting dark because it's getting late in the day. So we'll check to see for how long that we'll get light through this window in the morning and through the day tomorrow.